Hi, and welcome to the first official video podcast of the Godly Business Podcast with the Better Sales Women. Today is the official first video. So if I seem to be a little all over the place, I apologize. Just give me grace and be patient with me. All right, so I wanted to start to do smaller videos, and also will eventually switch the podcast from audio only to video if you're interested, so you could watch along on YouTube and other podcast platform. But I also wanted to start doing shorter videos to give you guys as much tips as possible for your sales strategies, how to become better salespeople, sales skills, and things like that. So today's episode is going to be the first of its kind. So I would love your honest feedback, what you would love to learn, what it is that you would like to expand on more, and so on. So we're just going to go and jump right into it. One of the things that I want to talk about today is building your sales pitch and strategy. That sometimes people think of sales pitch as a sales script. There's a huge difference between a sales script and a sales pitch. Your script, the reason why you hear most salespeople are telling you not to use a sales script is because, especially as new salespeople, people tend to just follow the script step by step. And that makes you feel more robotic. And it also doesn't really allow you time to truly be present with your client, to truly listen to them, to pivot, answer questions. They brought up something that you need to flow with the conversation. Remember, my biggest thing is sales is a conversation. So therefore, you should be having a conversation, not just reading a list of questions and filling them out, right? So you're not just taking a survey. You are trying to get to know someone so you can sell to them, right? So that's the point of it. So in your sales strategy, there are a couple things that you will need to include to help you close better. So today I'm going to talk about 4 things that you need to know in order for you to start building your sales pitch and your strategy and presentation. All right. So the first thing that you need to do is, what do I need to know that I don't know? That's the first thing that you should be questioning. In doing your research for your prospect, especially if it's B2B sales, right? Business to business sales. You have to do a lot of research to know what the company's about, what they're currently working on, what are some of the things that is currently not working for them, things like that, right? So after you do your research, you need to go back and ask yourself what it is that I need to know that I don't know currently. Of all the research that you just did, what are some of the things that are still missing that you need to really close that gap? Whatever that is, ask those questions, write them down, and make sure that in your sales conversation, you ask those questions to have a bigger picture of what the situation is, right? So you definitely want to make a list of questions. If you have had a chance to listen to any of my podcasts with the Godly Business Podcast, that's something I tell you all the time. You need to write questions. You have to ask a lot of questions, because those are what you will use in order for you to overcome objections and be able to close and make your pitch better, right? So ask what it is that you need to know that you don't know currently, and then write them down and be open to have the conversation flow and grab those golden nuggets that I call them of the information that you are receiving, right? Now, the next thing is, why are they switching now? So, this is a question that, if let's say you are doing a B2B or even B2C, right, business to customers, and they are actively reaching out to you or actively searching, and they put out a bid, if it's a company, or they are actively looking for this product or service, One of the questions I want you to ask is, why are they switching now? You can literally ask that, or you could ask that in doing your research to look for that answer. The reason why that's important is because, one, it will get you to have a better understanding of what it is that they are looking for, especially if it's a product that they already have, right? And they're like, hey, we're switching from XYZ model and looking for something else. You need to know why it is that they're switching. Why all of a sudden the switch? And not only that, why now? What happened that made them like, okay, now it's time to pivot and we need to do whatever. You need to understand why that is, and in order for you to kind of like prepare yourself to answer those questions, those needs, understand, is it something that you can offer? Can you offer better? And make sure you highlight that in making your presentation or pitch. Same thing if it's a B2C, right? They're looking for a solution to a problem, especially if you're a coach or consultant or a sales agent for an insurance and they're switching. You need to figure out why that is. Why they're switching, why now? Now, if let's say the it's not something where they're proactively looking, right now, this is you trying to pitch to them, and you are, you know, trying to get them as a new customer. You're pursuing them, right? They're not out there looking, you're pursuing them. You also need to ask that question, right? What's the benefit for them to switch now? What would be in it for them to switch to you, and now, and why now would be the best time to switch? The same research that you need to understand, as far as like who the customer are, what their needs are, those are some of the things that you need to ask. You need to find out and dig deep whatever the competitor is. So let's say you are selling a software, and they currently are using something similar to your product. You have to, especially if they're not switching, they're fine with what they're looking for. You need to dig some dirt. That sounds bad, but it's not. Find out what it is that they love about their current system, but also find out what are some of the pet peeves. What are the things that they wish this product did that it doesn't do, and make a list of it. Are there any of those things that they wish that their product did that yours do, but that product doesn't do? Right? Or are there things that they love about their product, but your product doesn't do? Right? So those are the things that you need to do in your research, and ask that question. What benefit would it be for them to switch now? Right? What's in it for them to switch now? Why? And especially even with B2C, right? Why should the customer try your product now versus whatever they've been using for so long? What's in it for them? What's the benefit? Now, the fourth thing is, I just said it, what's in it for them, right? Now, this is mostly, I want you to think mostly for this on B2B sales. B2B sales, you're going to pitch. Most of the time, your first pitch is not to the decision maker, is to the influencer, the gatekeeper, I call them, right? Now, sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, when you are going to B2B sales, the person that you're going to first encounter is not the decision maker. So you have to sell yourself and your product to that gatekeeper, that influencer that's going to give you access to the decision maker. So what you have to think in mind is, what's in it for them? Why they should go to bat for you, to speak highly of you and your product, to allow you to have an appointment with the decision maker. Remember, the gatekeepers are really, really important. They are very, very influential, because if they're on your side, they're on your side. But if they're not, you're not going to even if you were to be able to make that appointment and get to talk to the decision maker, a lot of time their influence could negatively impact, the result. So you definitely want to know what's in it for them, what's in it for that influencer, and how can you sweeten the deal to make sure that they get something out of it. What is that important to them? Sometimes it could be as simple as lunch or coffee, right? Or being heard and listened to. It doesn't have to be something very, very drastic, but you definitely want to make sure to figure out what's in it for them. Why is it that this person should give you access versus someone else, right? So, those are the four things that I want you to think about when you are writing or coming up with your sales strategy slash sales pitch. To those four things, keep them in mind when you are building your sales strategy. Now, of course, there are a lot more things that you need to consider when doing your sales strategy and your sales pitch, but those are the four things that I wanted to bring up to you today, and thinking about how you need to start building your sales strategy and what are the things that you want to keep in mind. So, hopefully, this was helpful. Again, if you would love to learn more about sales, anything sales related, I'm your girl. Please ask questions, concerns, things that you would like for me to expand on. I would love to teach you as much as I can. Thank you and God bless.